What's up, everybody? Guess what day it is? It is Tuesday, which means it's TPN Live with Bobby and my concubine.
Really?
What?
We have been doing good the last few weeks.
No, I'm just saying.
No, we have been doing good. Now we ain't go. Now see.
What you mean?
What's up, y'all? Y'all know who it is.
Oh, here we go.
This is Renee,
aka concubine extraordinaire.
Whatever.
That's all right.
Whatever.
It's TPN Live with Bobby Renee. We having a great guest tonight for you guys out there who want to try to get y'all finances in order.
Yes.
We got an educator. So
yes.
So this person, he's going to teach you how to do what you need to do with your money. Make your money work for you, not work for your money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But before we go into that, what we got going? What's going on, man?
Okay, so we got a lot of stuff going on right now.
So really
no, I'm trying to turn it down.
You're not doing a good job at that.
I know, I'm not.
I mean, are we doing that right now?
Yes, no. Wait, hold up. What's happening?
I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm working on a PC right now.
Yeah.
I do not. That's why.
Well, you just click on the icon, just turn it right down.
Okay, hold on. Now don't put me out there like that.
I'm just saying. And just drive. There we go. All right, y'all know how we go.
So I had to get on this live so I can make sure we get all y'all questions in just in case. But
what
anyway.
up, Tony Tennyson? Hey man, thanks for the music. Tony Tennyson, you guys don't know, he's a producer out in LA. We met him actually earlier this year with the LA Web Fest. He got a track on the upcoming season of Dexter Jackson's Got the Date, and so you can hear some of his tracks on that. But like I said, what we got going on though before we bring Oliver on? What's going on between you and I?
Okay, so as you guys know, or maybe you don't know, we just wrapped this series that we were filming, The Mind of a Woman. This is season 1.
Season 1.
Woo, woo, we are so excited, guys. Our cast did phenomenal.
What?
Listen, we could not ask for a better cast. We bragged on them a little bit, in one of our other videos, but we are super excited. So thank you and shout out to the cast of The Mind of a Woman.
That's right.
Yes, and we still have Dexter Jackson Guides to Dating out there now, guys. Don't get it twisted.
But season 2 come out.
Season 2
in
is
like 2
coming
weeks.
out. Yes, so
In like
y'all
2
make
weeks.
sure it's on Amazon Prime. Okay.
That's right.
Yes. Oh, let me tell y'all. So we didn't do a lot of promotion for it because we didn't know that it was going to be airing on last night, but we found out that my boo was on TV1 ATL Homicide.
That's right.
So if y'all watch that show, y'all make sure y'all go back and watch it. It's season 1, episode 7.
Yeah.
So
it's called The Naked Man.
Yeah, it's called The Naked Man. Or y'all know he liked to be naked.
No, I wasn't me. It wasn't me.
He had strip off his shirt if he have to. So that title is perfect.
I would do all that. But yeah, like we didn't get no notification about. I didn't know the show even aired until one of my homeboys saw it last night.
Yeah.
I mean, he taped it and watched it this morning. He sent me a text, hey, I see you on TV. I'm like, what are you talking about? Because like I didn't do nothing wrong. It wasn't the news. But anyway,
thank God for that.
Exactly. So, but hey, good for people like that. But so also we just started production on a new drama series for Miss Erlina from North Carolina called Too Real for You.
Yes.
It's a pilot. We're doing the pilot right now. It's a series,
Mm-hmm.
and man, it's filled with a lot of drama. Man, these ladies are awesome, man. We got ladies coming from all over the place, from Rhode Island. We have people from North Carolina. What's the name? Milwaukee.
Yes.
So actors are flying in and coming in and doing a great job, man. So this is an awesome production. I can't wait to you guys get a chance to see that as well.
And we will be interviewing Miss Erlina closer to the time of her release date.
Yes.
So you guys stay tuned for that. It's a powerful story.
Very powerful.
So I'm sure that you guys will actually like it. We went from a comedy to a drama.
Yeah, back to our original homestead.
Yeah.
Drama. We like dramas.
Not drama in our life, but we like to film it and write it. Okay?
Yeah.
But I think I like comedy more though.
Me too.
I think I like comedy more. It's lighter. It's and I like to laugh. So
do you?
Yes.
You like to laugh?
Yes. So without further ado, okay,
we're gonna bring on Mr. Oliver Emmerson.
Oliver Emmerson, yay! We're gonna let him introduce himself in just a moment.
What's up, Oliver?
What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be on the show. Thank you.
Oh man, thank you for taking the time out your busy schedule for making all that money to be with us.
It's bleeding out, but
Hey, that's
yes, that's awesome. So, Mr. Emmerson, please give us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Yeah. Again, thank you so much for having me on the show. So for the last couple of weeks, let me kind of go back a little bit. I started off working in the collection industry about maybe 11, 12 years ago, and I learned a lot about just the law and the way finance works. I took it upon myself to go through some education and become certified as a financial education instructor. And I'm publishing 2 books. One is called "Give Yourself Some Credit," and we're talking about how to fight back against the high interest rates that credit cards, and the predatory lending that they throw out. And then what we're also doing is writing another book called "The Interest of Interest," and we're going to talk about how interest rates are really predatory towards the African American community, and and we're going to talk a little bit about that today too, and how you can kind of fight back. So I've been spending my last 12 years on trying to figure out the way banks work, understand the way they work. I worked in corporate America, and I found my passion. So we're creating this online university for everyone to sign up and get some good education, ways to make more money, and as well, how to spend money that they have. And we'll get into that. But yeah, I have 12 years of experience in finance, graduate of Kennesaw State University, and I'm just excited to be here. Like, super excited.
All right.
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
So you're an educated black man. That's what I'm talking about.
That is awesome.
That's what I'm talking about. So let's get right into the meat and potatoes here, man. So, like, what are one of the I guess the common threads that African American, well, not, I'm not gonna say African Americans, that people come to you for advice on how to make their money work for them? What's the most common thread?
Creating the university, we've been taking our time out to really identify where the real issue is. And I have a lot of people that reach out to me about investing in the stocks, and they get discouraged because they're not investing a whole lot of money in the stocks. So I'm trying to figure out, what is the average person comfortable with investing in. A lot of people don't know that their 401k is actually an investment vehicle. And we're working on a way to educate individuals who have a 401k how to maximize that performance. A lot of people, are very afraid to put money out there in the market. They're just uncomfortable, right? And then it's new. Myself being a veteran at this thing for 12 years and investing for 12 years, it's a little bit more easier for me to say, hey, do this, do this, do this. But we're starting with the ground level with a lot of our new students and saying, hey, listen, you are an investor. And that's what we really want to get across. Let people know that if you have a 401k, you're an investor, whether you like it or not. So, to be able to get people to understand the way the markets work. But stocks is the main question I get all the time. And it's one of my favorite topics to really talk about.
Okay, well, let's talk about some stocks then.
So, sure. I mean, that you brought up a good point, because I really did not know much about the 401k.
Yeah.
I invested, of course, I did it because it's a job, it's an option with my company, right?
Sure.
But I backed out of it when I had went down from full time to part time, so that I can see a little bit more of my money, like right now.
Sure.
And so when I forgot that I had it, and I went back in and I checked it, and I was like, oh, look how much I got in here.
Yeah,
look, I don't know.
Magic City.
I don't know what I'm investing in. I had no idea. So now that I'm learning, I'm going to go back and check it out and see. But whatever I'm invested in is doing really well.
Well, and I'm glad you said that, because that's what happens, right? I wanted to teach individuals and students to say, hey, listen, let's be proactive as opposed to retroactive. Every day you're going to work, you're giving your time, you're working those 40 hours a week, you're stressed out. You need to understand you own a piece of what that company is giving. And if there's a match there for you, you're making money on top of your money. And what I like to do is show people to say, hey, listen, all a 401k is basically mutual funds that you've picked out that you had no idea that you picked because you just randomly picked them. So what we're wanting to do is say, hey, listen, let's be more strategic about what we pick to maximize our performance. And I'm glad you brought that point up, because a lot of people, they take that money and they run when they go to another job. And the key is to build that money up. And I'm going to be honest, let me put this on record. I am not a fan of 401k. It's a vehicle for us to kind of use because it's available, and you work at a job, you want to feel like you're getting something from it. But there's a ton of other vehicles like Roth IRAs I'm a real big fan of. especially for anyone who makes under $100,000 a year, or who has tax write-offs, right? Roth IRAs are a way you can invest into the stock market, receive some money back on your returns, as well as get a tax incentive. So, excuse me. So that's one of the reasons I said I'm not a real big fan of 401k, but hey, if individuals are investing into it, we're here to provide that education for them.
So I did hear things about the 401k. I went to a financial meeting about a year or two ago, maybe about a year ago, and they were talking about the 401ks. Now, when you say Roth IRA, because that would be, people who make less than $100,000 a year, that's probably a lot of my viewers that's watching right now.
Yeah.
What is that exactly?
I'm glad you asked that question. A Roth IRA is a self-directed account that you can put up to $5,500 a year into, and the IRS is not going to bother you, right? As a matter of fact, it'll actually lower your tax bracket. My wife and I, we have 2 children together, and I have an 11-year-old. So each one of my children have their own Roth IRA. So what's happening is, they have custodial Roth IRAs. What happens is I am now able to deduct that from my business. I'm able to deduct that from my wife's income because she still works in corporate America. So now we can lower our tax bracket and still receive the incentives as if we were lower income when it's time to file our taxes.
Oh, so I mean, so you can get food stamps in, right?
No,
I wish.
Now listen, okay, so I'm glad you brought that up as far as filing taxes, because right now we're trying to get in the process where we can buy a house, but we have a lot of write-offs on our taxes.
Yes.
So it makes it look like by the time it's done, by the time our accountant is done with it, it makes it look like we don't make any money.
Yeah.
So
and that's the great thing, right? That's the cool thing about it. When you get in front of an underwriter, your underwriter's looking at those tax returns. They want to see where the money is going. As long as the money's coming in, and the IRS understands the first 3 years, you're kind of given that forgiveness of building the company up. And after that 4th or 5th year of being in business, the IRS is going to say, all right, look, it's time for you to start paying up, start giving something back away to us. But if you have children, or if you have anyone that's under, I believe, the age of 21, you can put money into their account. You can pay them up to $6,500 a year, plus add to their 401k, which is self-directed, or a Roth IRA, and that's another $13,000 you can write off. As you're buying a home, your underwriter will be able to look at that information and say, hey, this is safe. We can give you a loan.
So do it matter where the money came from? I mean, like I can go sell some weed and then put $13 out, and they won't tax that.
I mean, in some states, it's funny you say that. I'm actually working with providing a cannabis course. So in states like Massachusetts, where recreational, and we've invested into a few different companies right now. But yeah, I mean, honestly, as crazy as that sounds, if you start a business that is handling marijuana in legit states like Massachusetts and California, yes. The answer is yes. I'm glad you asked that question, because a lot of people, we're in the age of industry disruption. There's a lot of things that are changing with cryptocurrency, marijuana laws, and things of that nature. So a lot of people don't know the rules. And these questions that you're asking are great, because people need to know the rules so that when the industry does shift, we know the rules and we can play the game like Donald Trump.
Hey,
right?
Uncle Donald.
Okay. So, wow. Okay, I mean, I'm glad we're getting this information, because again, like Roth IRA, I'm taking notes, y'all. That's why I have my laptop sitting here. I am taking notes, and I can't wait to actually, when you do your university, I will be a student.
I love it. Well, great.
When I tell you, I am so vested in learning the stock market and learning how to invest and trying to, because I'm tired of being behind the wheel. You know what I mean? And I'm sure a lot of our viewers feel the same way. But we're just, sometimes we feel like, oh, I barely have enough money for food by the time I'm done paying bills. How in the world would I have enough money to invest? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a big fan of Dr. Boyce Watkins. He is my mentor. He's everything. And he's come up with a strategy of investing $5 a day into the stock market. And there's calculators that are online to show that if you can invest $5 a day into the stock market, it almost shows your money doubling over time. The stock market works its true value comes from time. On average, the stock market returns about 7 to 10%, which is great. And if you're getting that year over year over year, that those are pretty good gains. As a matter of fact, their dividend stocks, I'm a really big fan of. Dividend stocks are stocks that will pay you for having stocks with the company.
Right. That's what Apple.
Yeah, absolutely. Like
Apple does that.
Yeah.
Right. But recently, Renee, she got us doing this. I don't know if you heard. You probably heard of it. It's called Stash.
Yeah.
So we've been doing this lately, and we've been watching. It's been like pennies on the dollar, but we're seeing how it works.
And
so that's
because we're just learning.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, we can start with $5. Okay, let's see what happens.
Yeah. And that's the cool thing. So Robinhood, you can buy a full stock with Robinhood with no fees. In the past, like I said, I've been doing this for 12 years. I used to pay $7, $8 every time I would buy or sell a stock. So going in with that mentality was very discouraging. You had to have a lot of money. Robinhood is a great app. I suggest for all the listeners to go ahead and download that app. If you get referred, I'll send you all my link. If you refer someone, both people will get $5, so they'll get a free stock, and it can kind of monitor that stock. Stash, on the other hand, is a great way for more conservative investors, right? Like Bobby, like you said, Stash, I can invest in pieces of Apple, and as long as Apple's making gains, I can make those gains as well. And everyone can't afford to buy a full stock today, which is fine. But to understand the way the market works, it's a great way to start.
Yeah. We've been watching like every day. Like I just started last week. But they've been like 2 weeks before me, and she's already got more money than me.
So the thing about it is, like I've been saying, I'm like, okay, if the stock for Apple, say if the stock is $130 per stock, I'm just throwing a number out there because I got to look at it and see.
Yeah.
I'm like, how am I able to buy a piece of the stock for $5?
I love that question, Renee. So that's why education is so important, right? We're going to talk about different apps and how to utilize these apps. So Stash buys what are called ETFs. ETFs are exchange traded funds. These are, imagine buying a full pie. You cut that pie into a slice. Now you're cutting another slice of that slice. You're getting a piece of the company, which is great. So every time the company goes up or it goes down, you get those gains. So that's how ETFs are pretty much built. As a matter of fact, that's the way your 401k is built. Your 401k is investing into mutual funds, which are a ton of different companies that has industry stocks from medical, from gasoline, any type of industry sector that you can think of. That's what mutual funds are doing, and that's what Stash is doing. Stash is investing into small companies, so you can make these small little gains. It diversifies the portfolio. And I always tell people, once you have enough in that account to say, hey, man, I made a couple of $100, go buy the real stock.
Yeah.
These are baby steps, right? The key is to invest. I love, like Bobby said, he's taking the time out. He's watching it. He's not really going through the emotions of losing anything, right? Because it's the knowledge that he's getting in the preparation. Because
it's like going to school. You're paying for the knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
That's
and they give you $5. So that to me, that's my loan. That's my student loan. So basically, I take that $5 and I invest it piece here, piece there. Then I just put more money into it. Now I'm seeing, like, if I'm making 5 cents every $5 I put into a stock, I just add $5 to that and make that 10 cents. And
absolutely. And it's a snowball effect, right? It's a snowball effect. You want to continue to let it grow. It's money you're not thinking about. Our parents and our grandparents used to put money under the mattress. My grandmother was like, baby, go in there, go grab that out the sock drawer. This is like, but it's not growing any interest. It's not doing anything. And when we really think about money, like, I haven't seen physical cash in so long, and it's sitting inside of an account. Why not have it sitting to an account that's going to grow?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen like dollar bills in a long time. It's been a long, long time since I've seen in my household dollar bills. Every dollar needs to be accounted for. Acorns is a great app as well. It can take your change, and if you have 35 cents left over, throw it into an ETF and let that 35 cents turn into 37 cents. Right?
Yeah, I see commercials for that too.
Jamari has that also.
Yeah. And I love parents, right? Parents who have kids have the best advantage, right? Because, teaching kids about stocks, getting them invested early, giving them money for allowance, letting them learn and go through the emotions early is only setting them up. Each one of my children have great portfolios that are starting very small. My youngest is my daughter. She'll be 1 year old actually in 30 days, and she has a great portfolio. So in my mind, I have 18 to 20 years to grow a portfolio for her.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
Right. So it's a mentality thing, and that's what we really want to practice, and that's what we really want to teach our students. Get into the habit of where am I today, and what's going to happen in 20 years. In 20 years, I'll be in my 50s. I'll be closer to retirement. Where am I going to be? Is my daughter going to need anything? She's going to need me. Well, let me go ahead and kind of put this away.
Right.
You know,
so put away the money now, so she ain't got to ask for it later. So
that's it. Exactly. And
you
know, and another thing too, Bobby. You know, we think about retirement. A lot of people think retirement is, you know, you just take money and you're living on boats and things like that. That's not really the real point of retirement. Retirement is for when you become old and now you no longer have that car payment, but your medicine, your doctor bills are $600-700 a month, and you don't bring in the income like you used to. Right? We're young. We can go out. We can work these corporate jobs. We can put sweat equity in. We can get out. But when you turn, 62, 65 years old, and you're on a fixed income, and your medication, because your mother had high blood pressure and diabetes, and you're just, on a really fixed income, who's going to pay for that medication? Mm-hmm. Expenses change. Expenses change as we become older. And I don't want to put that burden on my children. So it's one of those things where that's where retirement, to me, is making sure that I can live a long, healthy life comfortably. Not being rich, but comfortable. I want to live till I'm 90. I want my children to have kids, and I don't want to be depending on them to pay for my vacation, putting me in a home. I want to enjoy every bit of life that's left over. My grandmother used to always say, no one is coming back to tell me how good heaven is, so I'm not in a rush to get there. So I think about that. It's funny, but it's true, right? We want to live a safe life, and it's a domino effect when you don't have money stashed away for those type of things.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's wow. That's awesome information. Now, my son, he's doing. What do you think about the? He's been in it for a while and he loves it. And he learned a lot about the stock market. It's the foreign exchange.
Yes.
He's a what do you call it? IBO.
Okay.
With IML.
Yeah.
So he.
No, I'm sorry. How old is he? How old is your son?
He's 22. He just graduated from Clark, Atlanta.
Amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Forex changed my life. Forex actually helped me step off of corporate America about 3 or 4 years ago. Foreign exchange is, and he's young. I'm 33 years old. I wish I would have known about foreign exchange at his age. Foreign exchange is day trading, where he's trading for currencies. My brother lives in London today, so if I send him $100, it's not $100 by the time that he receives that money. So what your son is doing is he's making an educated assumption of what the price is going to be at a certain time, because the market moves day in and day out through the London sessions, China sessions, U.S. sessions, Asia sessions, so on and so forth. So he's able to make proper assumptions and to make money depending on which way that goes. Your son, in 5 years, I give him 5 years, he'll probably be a millionaire. This is an untapped market that a lot of our young people need to become familiar with, especially with cryptocurrency becoming more and more aware to the average person. It's going to be regulated soon. So with that being said, I commend you and your son for being involved in the Forex trading. Very, very life changing.
And he's been saying, Mama, come on, you got to get on this.
Yes.
And I'm like, but I don't want to spend the $200 and something right now. So I'm making all kinds of excuses. And he like, listen, I'm doing it. He like, listen, Mommy, this is what I was able to afford this because I'm doing this. And I was able to afford that because I'm doing that. And I'm like, really? Because I don't know a lot about it. And to me, it was like a little intimidating at first.
Sure. Absolutely.
And he was like, come on. He was like, I'll show you. And I started seeing them boards he was on and stuff. And I was like, hold up, baby, we gotta take baby steps. I don't know what this
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a big fan of IML. There's nothing against IML personally. I've been in the industry for such a long time that I am old school, right? I'm like the old school rapper. There's the new guys. IML is a great program. I would never say anything bad about them. and it's a great opportunity for those individuals. But if he's getting the education, Renee, I'm telling you, get the education, because he's sitting on a plethora of knowledge that could change your life. It took me a couple of years to say, oh my God, I'm really making this much money. I'm going to leave my corporate job, right? And when I took that leap of faith, I was like, man, I'm really doing this. And my wife said, hey, if you can put XYZ dollars in the bank, you can say bye to that job. And I did that, and I was still scared. And it's a mentality, and he has a great thing going, especially to be so young. So salute to him.
Yes. I mean, okay, well, good. Well, I mean, I feel good. Of course, I trust my baby because I see it. Yeah. But I feel good that you actually just confirmed everything you've been saying, because he's been saying, he's like, mommy, in about 5 years, just like you say, he was like, I'm gonna be a millionaire.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. Like in our university, we're going to be teaching about Forex, right? We're going to be teaching about, how to read a stock chart, how the markets actually operate, when to get into a trade, how to get out of a trade. We're going to be teaching all of that information inside the university. And the great thing about it is this is information you can pass on to your kids. When he has children, he can pass this on. This is not a fad. This is something that's been going on. As a matter of fact, if you all remember the movie Trading Places with Eddie Murphy.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's what the guys were doing. They're day traders. They trade stocks all day long. And that's how they make a living. This is something that's been going on Wall Street since even before we even thought of. But now it's introduced to us because now we have technology on our phones and we have access to learn this information. Right? So so this is the secret that finally has gotten out, and we have our hands on it.
So we need to get in it before they start trying to trip on it.
Absolutely. It's here to stay. Yeah.
Wow. So for the new investors and for the people that's just joining, what would you suggest starting off with as far as investing? Something that someone can afford to do. What would you suggest?
Good question. I'm a huge fan of the Roth IRA idea, right? And staying diverse. You could take $300, you could take $500, you could take it to your bank and say, hey, I want to open a Roth IRA. When you open up a Roth IRA, you're helping yourself fight against your tax battles that you'll have in the future as you make those gains. You'll be able to have access to that money right away, except for the gains. So, for example, if you put $500 into that account, and over 12 months that account brings in $750, you have access to anything that you put into that account tax free. And the only thing that you have to worry about is just the taxes at a later date when you do decide to take the money out. But Roth IRAs, they're diverse. They have stocks, they have mutual funds. So if your stocks are not performing as well, you can definitely rely on your mutual funds to make up for those losses. When I first started investing, I would look at my account every single day and I was losing money, and then I would make money. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so crazy. And a buddy of mine said, man, get a Roth IRA. You're going to need this. And it's also something to give to your kids, right? Roth IRAs are built to give the average American an investment platform for them to save on taxes, and also for them to make sure they're diversified. A lot of people come to me and they just want to buy stocks. And when stocks don't do well, they're upset. They want to take their money out and they stop investing. So I would start with the Roth IRA. And let me say this too. If you're in your 20s and you're listening to this podcast, $50 a month, anywhere in your 20s for 40 years, I believe, if I was not mistaken, the number was like about $500,000, because it's going to return on average about 7 to 9%. So the key is to get a Roth IRA, diversify it, track it, make sure you're getting your returns about 7 to 9% every single month, and leave it there for 40 years, right? That's where I would start, because it's diverse. If you're losing in stocks one day, guess what? You'll probably make it up in your mutual funds and vice versa.
So the Roth IRA invests in stocks and mutual funds.
Yep.
So I can call, like, we're with two different credit unions and also Wells Fargo. So okay. I can call one of those. We're with Delta and Navy.
Yeah.
And also Wells Fargo. So I can call either one of those and say, hey, so if I take the $300 and say, can I put this in a Roth IRA? I can add to that monthly.
Absolutely. And I would suggest that you do so. Because again, our IRAs are really for the tax benefit, but they're so diverse, and you can pick what goes into your Roth IRA, right? It's all about watching it. It's kind of like your 401k. You're watching it. If you're making more money on stocks, between that Roth IRA, then I say put more money towards the stocks. It's like a pie chart, and you can pick and choose where the money is going. Just put more money here, more money there. You have that opportunity to go ahead and make those changes. As a matter of fact, Acorns now has an app where they have the calculator inside the app, and it also will show you projections of if you continue to put XYZ dollars in, by the year 2043, you'll have XYZ dollars. And it's as accurate as it's going to be, right? Uh, but Acorns Later, a lot of people currently have Acorns as an investment vehicle, but Acorns Later, now you can have all your money inside one brokerage that has your Roth IRA and your mutual funds, and you can keep an eye on it all together.
So you suggest that over a stash then, using that Acorns Later?
Yeah.
So Acorns Later, I can actually start an IRA in
yes.
that?
Yes, you can. You can. And that's the only reason I'm more of a fan for Acorns, because I have my Roth IRA in there, and I also have my mutual funds in there as well. Stash and Acorns are kind of competing to be better than one another. But if you ask me today on August 21st, I'm going to tell you I'm a big fan of Acorns because they have the Roth IRA option in there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't. So right on my phone, I can download Acorns Later. LATER.
That's correct. That's correct.
And I can start a Roth IRA.
That is correct. That is correct. If you're self-employed, you can still do the same thing as well. We have a lot of people that are self-employed. A lot of people don't know that Fidelity will also give you a 401k if you're self-employed as well, right? So let's say you continue to work for yourself, it does not stop you from getting a 401k. The same thing with the Roth IRA as well. You can do the same thing. You can actually get a Roth IRA if you're self-employed as well. But Acorns Later, if you don't see it right away, I would suggest removing the app, adding the app back on, because this is brand new. I think it was only been like 2 months since Acorns Later has been around. So this is brand new. And I would also go on acornslater.com as well and try to sign up that way as well. It's one of their pilot releases that they're putting out. And I put it in there just to kind of test it out, see how well it was functional, because we're going to talk about it inside of our university. And I love it. It's very, very simple. It's easy. And I can check everything from one platform.
Okay, now do they give you a code, like if you refer people, you get $5 or something?
I think so. I'll double check and I'll send you over the link. Thank you for asking. Yeah,
send us the link, because you're introducing us to that. So send us the link.
Absolutely.
We have a question from Joyce and Ginyard. She said, "Would you suggest people see which one is best for them, traditional or not?" I'm assuming she's talking about the app.
She's talking about. I think she might be talking about the Roth IRA. So there's so there's the SEP, and then there's the traditional. So I'm a big app guy. If you guys can't tell, Betterment, BETTERMENT, Betterment is a great app for just kind of doing like a self-assessment. And what it'll do is it'll ask you certain questions. How aggressive do you want to be? Are you more conservative? And they will give you the best suggestions on which will be better for your traditional or a self-employed, or which Roth IRA will be better for you. It's difficult because some people look for those massive gains and they want to be more aggressive with putting more money in. And then some people are more conservative because they have multiple different platforms that they're investing in. So I would suggest going to Betterment and just filling out their little questionnaire and let them give you the best advice. I'm not a financial advisor, so I can only give so much information, but there are apps and there's resources to financial advisors that can give you more of a, hey, I would do this if I were you, depending on your personality type.
Oh, okay.
So as far as your academy, when is the academy live now, or when would it be started if it's not live?
Good question. So again, I'm a big fan of fighting back against the banks. So we want to release on Labor Day. What better day than Labor Day? So Labor Day, our academy will be open, and we will be taking classes for Forex. We'll be taking class for teaching individuals how to build a business, and we'll also be working on credit as well, teaching about credit. And these are self-paced.
Okay, so on Labor Day.
Yep, Labor Day. Yep,
and is information on your website now for them to sign up, or what's the process?
Yeah, really good question. So if they go to www.uniofwealthcare.com, they can simply register there. And if they can just put in their information, we'll have one of our advisors reach out to them. And we just kind of do a 15 to 30-minute call to find out what type of investor they are, what are they looking for, they're just looking for general information, or if they're ready to just kind of ride the wave of the university and figure out so many different things that we have. Because we're offering business credit, we're offering tax information, estate planning. Our university is 26 different courses of life. 26 different courses. Yeah, we even have a class for physical education where we'll be talking about how to properly take care of your body, what foods to eat. That class, I believe, is only $50, and it's 10 workout videos. One of my good friends is a personal trainer in Vegas. He's actually out in Vegas as a professional bodybuilder, so he's going to be teaching that class, and we want to make sure people get a full experience. Right? We want you to buy the credit course, then come back as a student and pick up the business credit course, right? We want to be able to give you all the information that's locked in here to give it to you guys.
Wow, that's awesome.
That sound well rounded. But being an extra bodybuilder, I can I can tell you what not to do.
Hey man, I'm gonna tell you, I'm trying to get myself back together, brother. So it's life happens, man. You kind of go in this little cycle where everything's good, and then you look up and you got the weight on. So yeah, but
that is awesome. I think you've given us some great information, at least to start. You know,
more than great.
Now definitely be on your website, looking out for your classes, you guys. His website is there at the bottom. If you have any questions about the classes that they're going to be offering, his website is there at the bottom.
On Labor Day, remember?
Labor Day.
Yes, that is totally awesome. So now we're going to go back in here. We're going to talk about this Roth IRA. Oh, also, please tell people how savings accounts now is not doing anything for you.
Yeah. So, and we're going to talk about that in the course. We're going to talk about how the banks, like how banks work, right? We need to understand the way when you put money into a bank account, you're just putting in a paper deposit, right? It's just paper. And that money that you're putting into that account is financing someone else's loan. If you deposit your paycheck into that account and you're putting it into a savings account, that money is going to be available for someone to buy a house. So it's this juggle effect that the bank does. So the banks aren't your friend. They don't want to give you anything, right? They're happy that you're putting money in that account, so that way they can charge another 8 or 5% for a home loan or 8% for a car loan, but they only want to give you crumbs, right? So my book, The Interest of Interest, is to teach people about we need to ask for interest payments as opposed to giving them away. We're such a fan of.
I'm sorry to cut you off. I got a question about the book. Sure. Because some people don't like to read.
Yeah.
So do you do like workshops and stuff like that?
Will they have audio?
Or will it be an audio book or a kind of video instructions or something like that?
So get this. So we have a very busy schedule. We're opening up a podcast in November. We have a documentary that's releasing in February called The Affordable Wealth Care. We are making 2019 is all about making sure everyone knows their options. I'm an educator, certified as an educator, so all I can do is educate. So we're giving everything. We're going to be hosting workshops, and if it's okay with you, I would love to come in at least, at once a week, just for 5 minutes, just to talk, small things about budgets or anything. If that's okay.
We do a show bi-weekly, but that's something we can do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just 5 minutes, just quick 5 minutes. But yeah, my job for 2019 is to give all of myself. If I'm not exhausted by 2020, I didn't do my job. But my job is to make sure that everyone knows the resources, the updates, what's going on, what's available, and they can make sound decisions. So.
Wow. So we do have another question. It says, is this offered everywhere East Coast as well? I'm assuming the class.
The class, but I think
it's
online, right?
Absolutely. So we're going to have 2 sets of courses, right? So some of the courses will be self-paced, where you'll actually be able to download our app. And as you're taking courses, you have 4 exams to make sure that they're graded exams to make sure that you're understanding and learning. You have access to all of your instructors. And if you need one-on-one time, we do have our instructors that will be on call 24/7, because we have West Coast, we have our East Coast, we have all times, and we also have some individuals over in London who are day traders who are going to be available to answer questions as well. So you'll have access to all the instructors. And if you need just a little bit more extra attention, yes, it will be available. Shoot us a message and we'll be able to give you a call and make sure that you fully understand. We're not trying to make money here. We're just trying to keep the software running because it's expensive to run the school. So we're trying to make sure that everyone has all the resources possible. We want to be able to breed a new generation of thinkers, a new generation of individuals who are going to take charge and invest, so that way we never go through what we're going through again today, ever again.
Wow.
Yep. So
I love it.
I like it too. I think what you're doing is very well needed.
Thank
Yes.
And that's why we wanted to bring on people like yourself to not only educate us, but educate our viewers as well. I mean, like
Sure.
I said, we're being very selfish. We want you because we want to learn.
Yeah,
we
absolutely.
think might as well share the information while we can. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because as a society, we want everybody to grow. You know, even though we make films and stuff like that, but we invest in our own projects. So money got to come from somewhere.
Absolutely. And that's my job. Like I said, we want to be exhausted by the year 2020. We want to be completely exhausted, make sure that everyone has education. And when they start asking questions, they're coming to us with a solution, and we just need to add the sprinkles on top, right? You know, I love those educated questions that people bring to the table, because now it's like, okay, you get it. Now we can go to the next chapter. So that's
once you simplify it and make it something, put in the terms that I can understand, and it's on point. Like Acorns, stuff like that.
Yeah.
By tomorrow, we're gonna have us an IRA. I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm like, listen, we need to do something different. If you've been doing the same thing over and over again, only a fool will continue to do the same thing over and over again. You have to change it up.
Yeah.
So I'm like, we've got to do something different. Yeah, we have a savings account, but that savings account doing absolutely nothing for us.
Yeah, so it is too accessible, right? We have access to it. It's easy for us to touch. It's tempting. Right. A light bill comes up, a tire blows out. We were like, let me go ahead and, so investment vehicles have penalties. Some have penalties. Say, hey, if you take this money, we're going to tap you a little bit. Just say, hey, do not touch the money. And and then we want to educate that on that. As a matter of fact, what I want to do is everyone that's listening on the podcast today, if they register today, they put in Labor Day, they have till tomorrow. This time tomorrow, I'm going to give them exactly 24 hours. If they put in Labor Day, we'll take off $25 off their tuition.
Oh, nice.
Just if they're listening to this podcast. And I'll know they listen to this podcast, they have to put in Labor Day inside the comments and under their registration. And we'll make sure that we give them a $25 credit to their first course. I want to make sure that they know that they came from your podcast and that, they've been engaged and they've been asking good questions. Because they've been asking great questions, and I really apprect that.
Oh, no doubt. Well, we appreciate you giving a discount like that. I mean, you might be getting an inbox from us like, hey, we want $25.
We'll talk. I got, I love what you all are doing. I thank you so much for having me on the show, and I'll definitely make sure that I take care of you too. You guys have some really great things.
Are you in Georgia? Where are you located?
Yeah, I'm actually here in Atlanta. My wife and I, we live way out, Peachtree City. We're way out.
Okay, yeah. We got to drive golf carts and stuff. Got you. All right. Okay. Well, cool.
Yeah,
all right. Well, then that's case that you local. Then we probably had to get you on. Definitely, meet up face to face and
I love it.
Help put on some kind of seminar or something like that.
I love it. That would be awesome.
We have a question from one of our producer friends.
Sure.
The price of the class is the price of the class on the website?
No. We're still in development stage. Our website will be fully built out hopefully by Saturday. We've been going through some organizational changes because we want to make sure that it's perfect as possible. So right now we just have the landing page. The landing page will just kind of give you some general information. But all the classes start at about $150 per class, and they're on payment plans too. I don't know if I mentioned that in the beginning. So if anyone can't afford the $150 up front, there are 3 payments of $50 that they can pay for 3 months in order to enroll in the course. So, and we'll still apply that $25 credit as well. But that 3 payments, that's on the website to let everyone know that they do have the option of breaking it up into 3 payments as well, so it's not such a burden.
Awesome.
Nice.
Awesome. You're looking out for the people, man.
Yeah. We're working around the clock. I haven't had a haircut and shave in like days. like we're really working extremely hard to make sure that everyone has everything that they want because we've been blessed and we just want to give it back to the people.
That is phenomenal.
Well, give that website out one more time. It's at the bottom of the screen, but let's give it out one more time.
Yeah. Yep. The website is www.uni of Wealthcare. So University of Wealthcare, www.uniofwealthcare.com.
Awesome.
And thank you so much once again. I know we at that 45-minute mark, but thank you so much for coming on. We will talk to you about bringing you on, as your classes come in. We can do like 5 to 10 minutes extra in our show and get you on there just to drop some knowledge. So I love it.
Thank you all so much for having me. I can't thank you enough. And I'm excited. So Labor Day, everyone put in Labor Day into your registration so we can make sure those credits go out.
Actually, yep. It's at the bottom of the screen here.
Awesome.
All right, my friend.
All right, y'all. Have a great
you want to give me a shout out before you leave?
Yeah. Hey, listen, I really do. I want to give a shout out number one to my wife. She's a big supporter. She's been so influential in making this thing happen, and also to my business partner, Royce Wheeler. He has, when I tell you, he and I have been working diligently around the clock. I can't thank him enough, and he's not getting paid. Right? We're sweat equity. We haven't made a dime. So big shout out to Royce Wheeler, man, and thank you, man, you all for having me and allowing me to give that shout out to both of those two individuals.
We appreciate you, Oliver, and we're gonna be seeing you real soon, my friend.
Sounds good. Thank you for having me.
All right, man. Thank you. You take care now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys, y'all heard it. I mean, look,
that was a very informative show. If anyone missed it, please make sure you share this
video and watch it.
Yes,
over and over
again.
It's
all about getting the information out there, y'all. If one win, we all win. Okay, so we want to get the information out there. I want to be financially free. I mean, free of debt, and I want to just be able to enjoy life. I want to be able to enjoy my retirement. What about you, honey?
I want to just enjoy you.
No, I want to enjoy you too, but we can't do that if we're stressed out about bills and how we gonna pay for our medicine when we get 65 and 70 years old.
I don't take medicine now, so I'm not gonna take it later.
Well, if you have to take it, you're gonna take it.
I'm not taking no medicine.
Look, see, stubborn, just like a man.
No.
So y'all make sure you guys share this video. I hope that we brought you some good information. Mr. Emmerson, he really brought it to us today. Listen, they're doing a university, and the website is still right there. Below there. And if you go to register for the class between today and tomorrow, you have 24 hours. If you register for the class and you use a promo code Labor Day, that code is strictly for our viewers. If you use that code Labor Day, they're going to take $25 off the class. The classes start anywhere from $150 and up. They do payment plans.
Yeah,
okay?
$150. That's pretty much nothing, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something some people, but I mean, $150 to invest in your security of your financial security.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something you can't overlook.
So we're definitely, of course, we're going to go and we're going to register for the classes because I'm interested. Like I have an appetite to learn, and this is what we're going to be doing. So guys, we want you to be on this bandwagon with us. We want you to learn. We want you to know how to invest. We want you to know how to begin. I have some notes here. I hope you guys took some good notes. Maybe we could swap some things. And, once he put the codes down there for us to sign up for the Acorn app and all of that other stuff, because a lot of these apps, they give you $5 just by referring people. Exactly. And you can take that $5 and you can invest, just like with Stash, in a percentage of a company. Yeah. So, hey, yes.
Right now, Home Depot is doing really good for me.
Yeah, Home Depot stock is doing really good. And so if it's pennies on the dollar, so what? You're not missing that $5. That was a doggone combo meal or a Happy Meal or whatever.
First of all, it was $5 that was given to you. So
that was given to you, right? So you're not losing anything. So guys, let's do this together, okay? Yep. One come up, we all come up, all right?
That's right.
So we're going to go ahead and end this. You got anything else you want to say?
No, I think it was really good, baby. This was one of our best shows.
Yes, this is very informative. Very informative.
So we're going to end our show how we do all our shows with 1, 2, 3, and
peace. Love y'all.
Love you.